Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. I am sorry for the delay. When I went to check out what I look like, I didn't like my bun. So I had to go redo my bun, and that's okay. Nonetheless, thank you for joining. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. Every Wednesday, I do this free live Q&A. I get so many folks who DM me looking for advice, and I very respectfully tell them that this is my profession. And so what we're not going to do is be DMing each other all day and all night for free. So what I have created here is a every Wednesday live Q&A so that you guys can get your questions answered for free for this hour. And that's it. So if you need more context, you need more support, I need you to do the right thing. Click the link in the bio. You're going to book a session. And if you think you need full-on coaching, then what you would do is click the link in the bio and you would book a discovery call so we can discuss which coaching program is a good fit for you. Welcome. Is it AV Caterful? Did I get that right? It's just Nell. Thank you for joining. G Haddon, thank you for joining. Mortgage Queen. I thought we were doing a name change. What's going on, girl? Thank you nonetheless for joining. Thank you, everybody. Maury, we have Robin, Maria, thank you for joining. Miami, Bree, I think I already welcomed Tay, but hi Tay again. Andrew, Pretty Brown 28, thank you for joining. And if there's anybody who is new, meaning that you have never heard me speak live, maybe you've just seen some posts, you saw a reel, that's what brought you to me, and you are brand new to this community, the land of love, I want you to please introduce yourself. Let us know what your real name is. Oh, this is the first name, and where you are from so that we can appropriately welcome you to the land of love. If there's anyone here who thinks that they have a friend or a loved one on Instagram who can benefit from this conversation and weekly, the word I was going to use was useful, but I probably want to use maybe useful conversations around dating and relationships, ones that are not in an effort to create a gender war, conversations that are not in an effort to do a blame game, but to actually come up with some resolutions. Then please go ahead and share this live with anyone who you think can benefit. Welcome Alyssa from Pasadena, Mauricia, who is from Charlotte, Arkia, who is from Michigan. Thank you. Welcome. We also have Lise. I hope I'm saying that right. Lise from New York. Where in New York, girl? You got to be a little bit more specific, okay? We have Nadia, who's from Queens. See, the New York City people are always very specific because this stuff matters to us. But them upstate people, they be like, New York. Where? Rochester? Albany? Where you from? Tell us where you from. All right. So let's talk about what the rules are. Oh, wait. Robin's new. I'm new. My daughter told me to check you out. I'm Robin Daniels from Washington, D.C. I'm a widow. I'm back in the dating game at 65 years old. Well, welcome. We have some folks from Tennessee. Got some people from Brooklyn. Yes, always representing. We have Shamaya. I hope that's right. Shamaya from Michigan. Okay, let's talk about how this works. Because we got new people, so I cannot be presumptuous and assume that everybody understands how this free live Q&A works, okay? Oh, I actually put music to this one. So, usually Tuesday, I post this. Why would you disappear? I post this story, right? This time I put on back because I was out of the country. But I post this story Tuesday to Wednesday, right? And you are to put your question in that box. That is how I keep organized. Somebody said, hey, Miss Williams, because they know that I was a former teacher. I don't know who you are, but hey, boo, I need to be organized, right? So if you DM me, I am going to kindly say, please put it in the box. If you tell me it cannot fit in the box, I'm going to tell you make it fit. Right? Because I need organization and I'm not going through 1,000 DMs to find your question. So you have from the time that I drop the story, which is usually on Tuesday evening, up until now, Wednesday evening, to drop your question. And I will make it my business to address every single person's question within the hour that we have together. If we have time left, so if I don't get a lot of questions, we just don't have a lot of time, maybe the questions are easy breezy, then I will invite you to join the live to ask your question. Join the live. That means that you're going to click on, you see that camcorder? If you're old enough to know what a camcorder is, that camcorder with the plus sign, if you have a question during the live and you did not put it in the box, you're not going to put it in the comments, I'm not going to read it. I love you. I need organization. So I'm going through those who follow the rules. They put their question in advance. Go through those people first. And if there is time, then you can join the live and you can ask your question. All right, beautiful people, let's get into this because we actually had a good set of questions this week, okay? And I see people who are answering, asking them now. Love you. No. Too little, too late. Love you. All right. So first question says, guy stood me up. 46 days later, he wants to talk. Should I hear him out? Guy stood me up. 46 days later, I love the 46, not a month and a half. 46 days later, he wants to talk. Should I hear him out? I'd love to know what you guys think. Okay, so for me, again, para mí, I want to hear it out. And the reason why I want to hear him out has nothing to do with the fact that I'm ever going to give him a second chance. I am absolutely not. I cannot imagine a circumstance where you, unless you have literally lost your fingers, that you couldn't pick up your phone and send me a text that says, my parent has passed away. I'm unavailable for the next couple of weeks. You know, if and when things pick up, then, right? I cannot imagine a circumstance where you cannot pick up a phone and send a message. So I want to hear him out simply because I'm curious. I want to hear the story. However, it absolutely makes no difference whatsoever what this gentleman has to say. "46 days? Tony Braxton says 7 whole days and not a word from you. Okay? So no, absolutely not. He stood her up. He didn't show up. 46 days later, he wants to talk. I am too curious, right? I guess curiosity also killed the cat. I am too curious. I needs to know what happened on that day that you supposedly stood me up. However, I am absolutely not giving this gentleman another chance. He could not pay me. He does not have enough money for me to give you another chance to play me and to make me feel like less than, at least in the moment. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Next question, okay? And oh, by the way, folks are agreeing with me. I see precisely. Not Tony. Yes, Tony said 7 whole days and not a word from you. 46, you're bugging. Exactly. Folks are agreeing. Okay. His other relationship didn't work out, so now he wants to circle back around. Absolutely infinite soul 30. And thank you so much for purchasing a badge. I appreciate that. Okay. Next. This question was a little weird. I saw when it came in and I'm not really sure. So sometimes y'all help me to figure things out because I have one interpretation, y'all have another, and y'all's be better than mine. While doing online dating, do you think it's a good idea to have a sneaky link? While doing online dating, do you think it's a good idea to have a sneaky link? So I have a couple, I just don't know where to go, right? So if you are online dating, that means that you're not in a committed relationship, is what I'm imagining, right? Online dating, like I'm talking to a couple of different people that I've met online. If that's the case, then why is this a sneaky link? If you are available, right, you're not seeing anyone like on a consistent basis, like you're not in a committed relationship, then I wouldn't define this as a sneaky link. It's a link. You're linking. You have a right to see other people if you choose to be intimate with someone else. I don't see that as a sneaky link, and I don't see that as problematic because, again, the question is why, while doing online dating, do you think it's a good idea to have a sneaky link? So I don't see the issue. I don't see it as a sneaky link. It's just a link because you're not committed to anybody. Okay? So that's my understanding of the question. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys if I'm misunderstanding. While doing online dating, do you think it's a good idea to have a sneaky link? The other way that I'm perceiving this question is perhaps they're saying that if they're serious about dating, should they be wasting their time still linking with folks who aren't serious? That's the other way we could look at this question, right? So if that is the interpretation that's correct, then I would not suggest you dating, speaking to, having sex with, engaging with folks who don't want the same things as you. I just don't recommend it. It doesn't make sense to me, right? Like we talk about our friendships, we talk about our friendship circles, we talk about surrounding ourselves with people who are like-minded, we talk about positive vibes only, we talk about we want to be around folks who are pushing forward and doing well and blah, 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 right? You are some of your best friends, whatever. So if that's the logic that we use with our friendships, then that should also be the logic that we use with anybody that we're dating. We should not purposely date anyone who doesn't want the same things as us, no matter what that is on the spectrum. Even if I'm talking to somebody right now who only wants to casually date, that means you should only be dating people who want to casually date. Don't waste anybody's time. And don't give them foolishness when they're trying to be serious. If you're looking for a committed relationship, you should only date those who are looking for a committed relationship. If you believe in marriage, if you want children, you should only date those who want those same things. So if that's, and again, I don't know. But if that's what this question is asking, while doing online dating, do you think it's a good idea to have a sneaky link? If your online dating is purposeful, you should not be doing sneaky links, because sneaky links are sneaky. I'm trying to have somebody that's for real in my life. I'm trying to have some real kind of commitment. I'm trying to build generational wealth. I'm trying to create an empire. I want a solid family. Like, I want children who are going to contribute to society. Like, right? So sneaky linking does not align with what I'm looking for, then sneaky link be gone. Okay? Yeah, you think I think it's the second one too. Thank you. I think that's the second one. So I hope that answers your question. If not, you can feel free to click the link in my bio and you can book a 30 or 60-minute session. It's called an alignment call, or you can wait till next week and clarify just a little bit. All right. Next question. Pros and cons of dating an older man that has 2 kids. Pros and cons of dating an older man that has 2 kids. Let's start with older man, right? Now, depending on your age and depending on how much older we're talking about, one of the concerns that I've shared with my clients over and over again, when we're talking about like significantly older, I'm talking about you're 40, he's 60, right? Like 20 years, 15 years, like solidly older. You need to take into consideration that, again, if you're dating with intent and purpose, that this person may become your husband or may become your wife, then you have to consider that you're going to be caring for them a lot sooner, potentially, right? Because anything, I could be 30, God forbid, and get into an accident and my husband have to take care of me. But still, with age, it increases significantly. You're going to have to consider, you're going to have to care for this person a lot faster than what you necessarily are prepared for. You're going to have to face the issues that elderly people face a lot faster than what the average person would be prepared to do, or what you're prepared to do, because you're not in that age bracket, right? You're going to have to be concerned about retirement and plans and funding, right? You're going to have to think about medical needs and assist. Like, there's a lot that comes with dating someone who is significantly older than you. Now, if we're talking about you're 20 and he's 28, you're 30 and he's 35, then okay, right? But if we're talking about significantly older, there is a lot of value in considering I'm dating with intention. My hope is that this person is the person I would potentially marry, and I'm 40 and they're 60. What is their health like? And what is our life going to look like if I am their primary caretaker in 10 years when I'm 50 and they're, 50 and they're 70, right? If you want children, and this may be, I mean, let's be honest, like, men can have children whenever they want, but they sperm don't be all that. The count ain't all that. It don't be swimming the same. The quality ain't the same either, right? So even if it's the man, the woman, the man, we have to think about our children. Are we able to conceive children? Is this person likely to be able to live long enough to support me? And I don't mean financial support. I mean like emotional support, right? Support me and also be here for this child. Like, do I have to worry about whether or not this person's going to make it to their 18th birthday or walk them down the aisle? Again, anything can happen at any time. Anything. But you're setting yourself up for these very particular concerns if you're dating much older. They don't swim the same. It ain't my fault, Faith. They don't swim the same. Like, men can have children anytime. Yeah, the numbers are low. They don't swim the same. They're not quality. Okay, quality sperm matters. You should make that a hashtag. All right. So that's the first half of the question. Pros and cons of dating an older man. So I'll give you the pros. Usually more financially secure, more financially stable, tends to be more serious about what they want out of life, tends to take action a lot faster. And many times they take action a lot faster because they know that time is of the essence, right? So we can, a lot of women will value that and appreciate that. This just seriousness and ready to proceed and ready to plan and ready to move forward. Those are going to be the pros of an older man. Now let's take the second half of this question. So I'll start it from scratch. I know I have some people who are just joining. Thank you for joining. Please go ahead and share this live with a friend, right? Okay. Pros and cons of dating an older man. We talked about that has 2 kids. I'm going to tell you that the pros are going to be very limited to the cons. So let's go positive, because I went negative the other way, right? Pros. If you like the idea of a blended family, so perhaps you don't want to have children, you're unable to have children, you like the idea of a blended family, then a gentleman who has children already is a great fit for you, because that's what you've envisioned already. Yeah, we need to know how old the kids are. That's definitely a factor too, right? So if you're dating someone with children and you love children, you want to be around children, you love the idea of a blended family, you can't conceive children on your own. So having children as a part of your life is something that you've looked forward to. You have children of your own, and so you want a partner who has children because they can understand the stress, the drama, the responsibility. Those are all pros. So we started with the positive. See, Alice says I'm negative, Nancy. I started with the positive. The cons. I got to put the iPad down for the cons. If someone has children, then they tend to have less financial flexibility. Because if they have children and they're doing right by their children, and I would never, ever recommend anyone to date anyone who is not an active participant in their children's lives, period. It speaks to your character. If you are not financially caring for your children, it speaks to your character. If you don't make it your business to spend quality time with your children, unless you are a criminal and so going to court would literally get you locked up, you need to figure out how to spend quality time with your children. And in this country, I can't speak for the laws in other countries, and it varies from states to state. Unless you are actually unstable, there is no reason in the world why you can't carve out some time and force the custodial parent to give you some time with your kid. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. So the 2 kids, right? Number 1, he's going to have less financial flexibility if he's a decent human being, and I wouldn't talk to him if he wasn't, because that means he's going to be paying for the lifestyle of this child. Child support, right? Even if it's not court, what's the word? I don't gonna get myself involved in this. I'm a married woman. I ain't getting divorced, right? If it's not court ordered, that's the term. So if it's not court ordered, he's still gonna be paying out. And even if he's doing super well for himself, that's still less money for you and your household. So that's gonna be a con, right? Another con is potentially the children not liking you. They may not like you. They may not like you because you're nasty and you don't deserve to be liked. They may not like you because their mom is feeding stuff in their ears. They may not like you even if mom is great, right? They may not like you because you represent the separation or the breakup between their parents. They may not like you just because personalities clash. They may not like you because you are taking up space in their mama or their daddy life, whatever. That's another con. Next con, the biggest con, I think. Well, probably the money's the biggest con, but one of the biggest cons is the potential conflict with the children's other parent. In this case, we're talking about the mother, right? Nobody wants to be wrapped up in nobody's drama. We got enough drama in our lives, right? My flight was delayed. Stuff happens, right? Like, I got enough drama in my life. I can't keep a hairstyle for more than 5 days. I told y'all my story about I got dropped from my car insurance because I wasn't paying attention. And then my insurance doubled. Like, I got enough drama. I don't need nobody else's drama in my life, right? And so probably the biggest con with dating someone with children is the potential. Now, it's not always, right? And sometimes some non-custodial parents like to exaggerate this supposed drama that they have with the custodial parent. But it's a potential, and it's a potential I don't want in my life. So what can we do? I think we also need to be practical here. Let's take a step back. I'm sorry. I don't want it in my life, right? Some people do, and we talked about the pros. This is not a judgment. However, we also need to be practical about the older we are, the more inclined that our peers are going to have children. When you're 25 and you say no kids, okay. When you're 30 and you say no kids, okay. When you're 35 and you say no kids, When you're 40 and you say, I'm not dating anybody with kids, good luck. Good luck, sir, and good luck, ma'am. Right? So we also need to be practical about where people are in their lives to what the like statistically, how many eligible bachelors, how many eligible bachelorettes in your age group, in your city, that have all the other qualities that you're looking for also happen to not be parents or not be divorcees who have children no matter what age. We got to be practical about that as well. Okay? I know that was a long piece, and I hope that I answered that question thoroughly. Next question. If he mentions, red flag is what she started with, red flag. If he mentions a third date in person and has texted but not scheduled it, I express interest. So is it a red flag? As I'm going to assume, I'm going to fill in the blank. Is it a red flag if he mentions a third date in person and has texted but hasn't scheduled? I've expressed interest. It depends on the amount of time, right? So how long has it been? Has it been days? Chill. Has it been weeks and you both live in the same city and there's no reason why, there's not some big vacation, there's no good reason why this person is unavailable to you, then I'd be concerned. So again, if this person has expressed interest in going out on a second, third, whatever date, you've been talking for weeks, the person's in your city, they're not a trucker, they don't drive cross country, they're not a pilot, like they're around, and it's been weeks, then there may be some other issue. It could be budgetary. You got to decide about how you feel about that. It could be that they have a whole nother boo, and so they haven't found the time to sneak around to you. You got to figure it out. But you can ask, hey, I know that you mentioned when we went out X amount of weeks ago that you wanted to go out on a third date. Are you still interested? I think a lot of people are afraid to ask. Like, it's okay to ask. No, I'm still interested. I'm so sorry. I've just been so distracted with work. How's next Friday? Or no, I'm still interested, period, ... no follow-up. But then this person's not serious, they can't afford it, or something else is going on. That's not your business to figure out, okay? At this point, I do want to take a short commercial break. Reintroduce myself to everybody who is joining the live in case you are new. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles in order to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. I do want to thank those who have purchased a badge thus far. We have Jay Howe, the Snap Sniper, Wellington Event Rentals, Shauna Marie, Jappa Black. I am Miss Vaughn and Infinite Soul. Thank you for joining the live. Okay. Oh no, I X'd out by mistake. All right. Moving right along. This is what happens when you X out and you can't find your space again. Okay, here we go. Guy I was seeing ended things to focus on his custody case. Right person, wrong time. So the first thing is I applaud this gentleman for understanding that he needed to focus and valuing spending quality time with his children, right? So much so that he's potentially prepared to end things with you in order to do so. So I commend him. If he's telling the truth, I commend him. Someone could be the right person at the wrong time. However, what you're not going to do is wait around for this custody case to I don't know what the terminology would be, to end in anybody's favor and hope and pray that he comes back around. Because then if he wins the custody case, then it's going to be the kids adjusting and blah, blah, blah. If he loses, he's going to be heartbroken. He might need therapy. So I applaud him for realizing what his priorities are, right? However, what we're not going to do is wait around and hope and see, depending on how this case works out, whether or not y'all going to get back together. You're going to start dating again. You should have continued to date unless he was your full-on boyfriend, committed man, right? You're going to see other people. And if the time makes sense and it's months later and he's able to resolve those issues, then great. But if not, what we're not going to do is wait around and hope and pray that things work out. You are going to continue to see other people, period. Okay? We started dating 3 weeks ago. 5 dates, only writes every 2 days. Lack of interest. We started dating 3 weeks ago. 5 dates and only writes every 2 days. Lack of interest. So the first thing is it's been 3 weeks and 5 dates. That's really good because at most what I expect is 1 date a week. So if it's been 3 weeks and 5 dates, and if the other person has paid for those 5 dates, I would imagine that they absolutely have interest in you. That's what I would imagine. Because I would not be paying for 5 dates over the spread of 3 weeks for somebody that I wasn't interested in. Now, the fact that they write every 2 days, I think that we really do need to remove ourselves from this technological age where we have an expectation where folks are just supposed to drop everything that they're doing and they're supposed to talk to you and it's all about you all the time. I knew each other for 3 weeks. He has integrated you into his life where he can reach out twice or once every other day. I went out 5 times in 3 weeks. You don't know him, he don't know you. So texting every 2 days is decent. Now, if you want more, just like I mentioned before, ask. If you want to talk on the phone, someone says, ever try a phone call? Right, maybe he just appreciates a different communication style. If you want to talk more, then tell him that. Hey, I'd love for us to get on the phone. Are you available? Hey, I'd love to talk a little bit more and catch up with you and get to know you a little bit better. We don't have to always go out. 5 dates in 3 weeks is a lot. And if he's paying for all of them, he likes you. He's interested in you in some form of fashion, what that level of interest is. But I wouldn't say lack of interest at all whatsoever. I would say communicate. Tell him this is what I like, this is what I'd appreciate. And if there's any legitimacy behind the every 2 days, like he's a bus driver, he works 12-hour days, he literally cannot text you. He's a corrections officer, his phone is in the locker, he literally cannot text you. Then you have to be understanding of that or not. But what you're not going to do is pressure someone to do something that's beyond what they owe you. It's been 3 weeks. He's doing his due diligence unless you expect more. Okay? Let's keep going. Oh, my iPad's going to die. If you're in a relationship with someone and they tell others on Facebook they are single. So I'm gonna fill in the blank with this one, and I'm gonna say that this person's in a relationship with someone, and on Facebook they are telling people that they are single. Is that a problem? Yes. If you believe that you're in a relationship, you have clarified, and let me tell you about clarification. I'm talking about it's clear as day. It's not, we cannot argue this. I'm talking about, we need to take it back to the 90s where we used to wear people's Letterman jackets. I had to wear the football player's pin because I was his girl back at Save the, what was the show? Saved by the Bell, right? Like I needed like that 90s. I needed that clear. If it is clear to you, it has been said verbally that you are my man and I am your woman. And then you go on Facebook and this person is speaking as though they are single, being flirtatious, not a status change. If they didn't change their status, you can just ask. But if they are using language, if they are telling people that they are single, then that means that they are single. And you better make yourself single ASAP because they're not serious about you. Make yourself single ASAP because they already are. They already are in front of billions of people on Facebook. So only in your face and maybe your friends and your family, y'all together. But in reality, y'all aren't. Please hold. Where's the charger? Okay. I'm back. Next question. How do you know if a guy is interested in just here for a long time but not a good time? How do you know if a guy how do I know if a guy I'm interested in is here for a good time and not a long time? Ask him questions. Excuse me, guys. Ask him questions. Are you here for a good time or a long time? Are you looking for a committed relationship? Or are you looking to go with the flow? Do you see us in a committed relationship anytime soon? Or do you see us more as friends with benefits? And don't get an attitude and be nasty because then he's probably going to tell you whatever you want to hear for sure if you come on nasty, right? However, if you ask, what are your intentions? And beautiful people, this is why I tell y'all, you need to ask this early. Like, I'm not asking this after we had sex. Because then now I'm thinking maybe he's just telling me this because we had sex and he wants more of it. Like, don't wait until 3. Hi, I'm Alison. You're Andrew. Nice to meet you. In life, what are you looking for right now? In life, do you believe in the institution of marriage? In life, do you desire to have children? Like, you need to ask this early in the game. And I'm not asking Andrew, will you marry me? I'm not saying, Andrew, can you impregnate me ASAP? I'm simply saying, what are your goals and desires early? Because if you ask early, people are less inclined to lie to you. If I just met Andrew yesterday, all right, I'm a pretty face, but he's not going to go through it's too much of a headache for him to have to lie to me. Now, if I met Andrew 6 months ago, we've been dating, we're having a good time, I make great conversation, we're intimate, it's good, because you know it's good, right? And now I'm asking him 6 months later, what are your intentions? He's going to be more inclined to lie to me because he wants to keep up the pseudo relationship that we have going on. Do not wait. Ask immediately. And if a gentleman says, oh, whoa, you're coming on too strong, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you, sir. Because again, I didn't ask you to marry me. I asked you, do you believe in marriage and do you desire it for yourself? I asked you, oh, that's so amazing. You have a 5-year-old son. Do you want more children? Right? I didn't say impregnate me. I said, do you want more children? Because I know I want them. Or I know that I don't want them, right? So maybe to go back to the previous question about the pros of dating someone with children, if you know you don't want any, maybe this person's already fulfilled, you have to ask early. But you're setting yourself up for failure if you're giving these people the best parts of you and then you expect them to be honest with you after the fact. Good luck, Chuck. So again, back to the question, how do you know if a guy that you're interested in is here for a good time or a long time? Ask what he's looking for early and often. Early and often. I see some people putting questions in the queue, and even though I appreciate that, as I've explained earlier, you might be new. The way that you get your questions answered is by putting it in my stories before I go live. That's the only way that I can keep organized and I can make sure that I stay on my time frame. Okay, so unfortunately, you can either wait till next Wednesday for the free, or you could go ahead and click the link in my bio and you can schedule an alignment call that's either 30 minutes or 60 minutes. It's your choice, and then we could talk all the deets behind your particular issue at hand, okay? Moving along. Do you think 2 weeks is too soon to get into a relationship? Do you think 2 weeks is too soon to get into a relationship? Yes. That's what I think. Other people might disagree. How much quality time could we have spent in 14 days? What's 14 days times 24 hours? Like, I gotta work. I gotta sleep. Like, I cannot imagine me making a commitment to something or someone that's only been in my life for 2 weeks. So the answer is, for me, no. And I would not recommend or advise that to anybody else whatsoever. And this actually goes back to a post that I put around being engaged after 6 months. People thought that was me in my hand. Absolutely not. First of all, I'm not talking about my ex like that. And the only time I would ever do so is when I'm asked in interviews and I hate it. But this is the nature of what I do, right? But if everybody else who's not in my space, I'm not, oh, my ex did this and look, the new guy who did that. Like, I'm not doing that. So that was definitely not my hand. But 6 months for engagement to me is too fast. I need to know you. And I don't know you after 6 months. Now, again, I'm also someone who's speaking at the age of 35. If I was 55, 6 months is all the time I need, right? So, and if I am 25, 5 years is all the time that I need. Everything is going to vary depending on so many different circumstances. So 2 weeks to get into a relationship, man, I take longer to decide what hairstyle I'm gonna wear on vacation. And I'm a decisive person. I'm a Libra, but I am super decisive. Do not put that on me, right? But still, things take consideration and planning. So 2 weeks too soon? Absolutely. I don't know you, bruh. I don't know you. Somebody homeless, eh? Key Desires, are you Canadian? Somebody's homeless. Or somebody's off their rocker. No, thank you. Okay? When is the right time for physical intimacy? Why y'all ask me questions like this? I don't know. When's the right time for you? You got to decide that. Align with Alison. Alison Monique Williams Wellington is not in a position to tell you when you are ready to be intimate. I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If you want the Brooklyn answer, I don't know. I have no clue whatsoever. You got to decide that on your own. There are going to be cultural. There are going to be religious. There are going to be so many other circumstances, life events that will help you to decide when you're ready. You got to decide that, girl. So unfortunately, and I hate not having answers, but unfortunately, I ain't got no answer for you. I can't tell you that. I can tell you what I highly recommend you don't do is the first night. That is a rule that I would stick by no matter what. Other than that, y'all grown. You gotta decide what's best for you. Okay? So many factors. I think this is gonna be the last question of the night. How long, if dating someone, should you expect to meet their friends and family? How long, if dating someone, should you expect to meet their friends or family? This is a good question, okay? So I'm going to start with this. So many factors. I need to know where they live, right? Like, relatively speaking, I like the actual address, right? So I'm in Brooklyn. Let's pretend I was my single self and I'm dating someone who's also in New York City, right? Because I'm not doing long distance ever. And their whole family's in Atlanta. I don't expect to meet their family anytime soon, right? Their whole family's in Washington. I don't expect to meet their family anytime soon. I'm in Canarsie and their family is in Bed-Stuy, then I would imagine relatively soon. So relatively soon to me would be within a few months. Within a few months. That's when I would ask. Or I would not ask. I probably would never ask, to be honest with you. Even though I'm big on the communication, maybe not. Let me not say never, but I'm not asking soon. Within a few months, within 3 months of us dating, I would expect to have been invited to something which would have allowed me to meet somebody. Like in 3 months, there's nobody's baby shower. In 3 months, there's nobody's wedding. In 3 months, there's nobody's family affair. Within 3 months of consistent dating, I consider consistent going out once a week or spending quality time. Doesn't have to be like go out and spend money, right? But spending quality time in person once a week and communicating on the phone frequently, every other day, every day, whatever. About 3 months of that is when I expect us to be talking about a commitment, not 2 weeks, 3 months talking about a commitment. And that's where I feel like I should be meeting family. Friends, we should have met friends by the bar 3 weeks in, right? Like friends, to me, meeting friends don't really mean anything, right? Family is a little bit closer, is a little bit more meaningful. So within a few months is when I would expect that. Okay. So I am going to break this down one more time for those who are new. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. As a service to the community, those whose pockets are on and they're not in a position to invest in themselves right now, every Wednesday around 5 p.m. Eastern, I do this live Q&A where folks submit their questions in advance in my stories. The story looks like this every single week. It's this green story with me looking like, what is Alison pondering? Okay, that is your opportunity for you to ask your question. I have it organized. I'm a former teacher. Like, I need my organization. I can't go through the comments and I do not take questions in the question queue. So you have some options. If you're still writing in the question queue, then you can either book a session by clicking the link in my bio, an alignment call, or you can wait till next Wednesday and I'll answer for free, okay? Now, what I will do is I have 6 minutes. If there is anyone who would like to join me live, split the screen. And you got to be a real person, because if you're a bot, I'm going to hang up on you and I might curse you out on live. And you'd like to join the live because you have a question in regard to dating or relationships, then I will take your question live. But I'm not taking any questions from the queue. The way that you get your question answered is through the story or by joining me live. How do I join live, Allison? You have to click on the camcorder that's at the bottom of the screen with the plus mark. You have to request it. If your name and your photo looks like you're a real human being, I will then invite you into the live and we will see you. We will talk to you and I will give you some free expert advice. Okay. So that's the only questions that I will take at this time. I do have somebody with a request. Let's see if they're a real human being. Oh, they're a real human being. Okay. I'm going to accept. It's like real people. And let's see how I can help you in the next couple of minutes if you are still interested in joining. If there's anybody else who wants to join, please go ahead and click on the camcorder with the plus sign. I will take your question and I will answer it a lot more, probably more thoroughly than I would have if I just got you in the stories. Okay. All right. You look like a real person. So let's see, Mamacita. Hello. Hi. Your volume's really low. Are you in a position to turn it up or anything like that? Okay. Oh, that's good. What you did?
I had a Bluetooth speaker on because I was
Yes,
listening
ma'am.
to
That was good. What you
the
did?
live. I just turned the Bluetooth off.
Okay, perfect. What's your question? How can I help?
Okay, so I'm recently single as of October of last year with the father of my child. My child's about to be like a year old next month. So for me, like I'm ready to start dating, but I'm in like the middle of nowhere because I'm active duty military. So I'm like in this like random like desert like area. So like there's absolutely like nowhere, like no like nightclubs or like malls or stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't even know where to start looking to like date people. So what would you
What's your
suggest like
closest
step
city?
one? LA.
And how long is the drive to LA?
Like 2.5 hours.
Jesus. And that's the closest city?
Well, not necessarily the closest city, but as far as me and childcare is concerned, that would be like the closest place for me to be able to make something happen.
So there's nobody locally that you could hire to come watch the baby? There's no grandmas that's 30
No,
minutes
and
out?
all my family is
No,
in
not your
LA.
family. I'm talking about like local grandmas. Like there's no care.com does not have anybody who could care for your kid that's in your immediate area.
I've never looked at care.com, but just the area that I'm in is like a really, really small town. It's just basically just military. And my son goes to like CDC Monday through Friday. And well, Monday through Friday, and then every other Friday they're off because we're closed every other Friday. But it's just I've only ever used like the daycare on base. I've never used anything else.
Okay, so the first thing is obviously, and you already said it, that you need childcare, right?
Yeah.
You need to go to care.com. There's going to be a sweet grandma. There's going to be a great aunt. There's going to be somebody 20 minutes out, 30 minutes out who's going to be willing to watch your kid for a fee. So you're going to do that. Care.com, we're going to take care of that. Now, the 2.5 hours is wild. All right, so LA is there got to be some cities that are close. That's not LA, not Miami, not New York. Like, give me something else. San Jose, like, gotta be something.
There's like Palmdale, Lancaster, which is like an hour and a half out. Other than that, like I haven't really ventured out to know.
Okay. The reason why I say that is not because I actually expect you to drive the hour or 2 hours, right? I'm not asking you to get in your car, drive 2.5 hours to LA to go to a club. The only reason I'm asking that is because what I'm going to advise is that you have to get on some dating apps and you're going to have to widen your search, because if you only have your search 20 miles within your area, then obviously you're going to be limited because, as you said, you're in this desert area. So you're going to have to open it up. It may be 100 miles just so you can get the matches from gentlemen who are going to be in, even if it's towns, at least it's a town that exists versus this little patch of whatever that you're on for the military. Okay. So number one is going to be care.com.
Okay.
They're going to take care of your baby. You're going to look at all the reviews. You're going to read the references. You're going to make sure that you're confident about this person. You're going to interview them. You're going to be good. Your baby's going to be good. All right. Number one. And then number two is going to be, you're going to get on them dating apps and you're going to have to expand your search to allow for more gentlemen to fall into the search criteria.
Okay.
Okay. Nico Sky has a comment. She says she was in the military as a single parent. Establishing that trust network is key so you can tend to your wishes. So again, finding people in relatively immediate area who you trust. You're going to do your interview. You're going to do your due diligence. You're going to have that extended family. It's going to be somebody great, aunt, auntie, grandma, a responsible college student. They going to watch the kids. Oh, somebody says you can even ask a teacher from the daycare if they babysit after hours. So somebody that you already know and you built a rapport with. See, they come and they helping, girl. So that's the baby. The baby's cared for. Now you're going to get on those dating apps because that's going to give you access to so many more gentlemen. And then now when it's time to go out on the date, you're going to have to suck it up and drive an hour. You will. You'll be all right. Yep. Because that's where you are right now. So the options are, you can date the very limited men who are around you, which doesn't seem like an option, or you can suck it up for the first couple of dates and drive the hour. And then once you build a rapport and you feel comfortable with them even knowing your neighborhood, because you can't bring anybody up in your house, especially now, then you can start inviting the guy that you've begun to vet into your relative neighborhood. But at first, you're going to have to venture out a bit. Make sense?
Okay. That does.
Any other questions, Sunshine?
No.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to sign off with you because that was just a good question. Thank you so much for joining. If you need any more support, you could go ahead and submit your questions every Wednesday, or you could click the link in my bio for a session, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night, and have a good night to everyone. This live will be saved. Bye.